Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Diamonds and Dew, aka Lee K, along with my wife, Lenore K. Amazing how that goes, doesn't it?
It's amazing, yes, dear.
Yes, I kind of figured you'd think
Just
so.
amazing.
Welcome to
You already said
Whip and Chat number 7.
Oh.
Well, you know, I actually made it this far. Do I have a pen? I do have a
I would
pen.
have brought my pen out, but I didn't think.
But I don't know. There is a pen.
I was
Okay.
gonna check them as they were done.
Stories first.
Oh, really?
Yes, because if I don't do 3 of these stories first, I'm going to have somebody that is going to hang me for making them wait.
Oh.
Specifically, Tammy.
Oh.
Just so that you all know what I'm talking about, my father. At one point in time before he passed, he had injured himself. Actually, he tripped, and in trying to catch himself, he slammed into a wall, broke his left arm at the shoulder in a V pattern all the way down to his elbow, right down the center of that bone. While he was in the hospital, one of the things that they did for him is put him on morphine. This is a man who was highly susceptible to morphine, to drugs. In the end, he ended up only needing ibuprofen, extra strength ibuprofen. And yes, I know I moved the camera, so I will probably have to check it and rearrange it. My apologies. Anyway, his issue was when he was on this ibuprofen is that he was as I said, he was hypersensitive to it, and hallucinated a lot. Well, one of the things he was on, or one of the things he did was on the top border of the hospital room he was in, they had a design border. And in that design border, it looked like the border around the apartment we lived in. So he would start saying things like, you know, you guys have a really pretty place here. Mind you, he's in a hospital room. You guys have a really pretty place here. You know, I'm surprised. From there, he went out to sea. Same sentence. Out to sea, telling everybody he needed to get back to port because he was going to the doctors were going to be mad at him for running away. This is a man, by the way, who also got seasick. And he was in the Coast Guard too. Figure that one out. Anyway, a couple of minutes later, nurse comes in, fluffs up his pillow, straightens out his blanket and checks his CPAP machine. Looks at my father and says, excuse me, Mr. Kennedy, is there anything else I can do for you? And yes, that's a made-up name. Excuse me, is there anything I can do for you? The nurse, my father looks directly at the nurse, takes off his CPAP mask, his oxygen and CPAP mask, and with my mother in the room, me in the room, and my wife in the room, turns around, looks at the nurse and says, not unless I can cop a feel. Puts his mask back on, and then proceeds to talk to the nurse about whether the nurse wants a drink, and asks me to get the nurse a drink. And he tells me, I raised you better than that as a host. You should have known to ask. I had to literally look at him and say, Dad, I did offer him one. He doesn't want it. Oh, okay. No problem. Oh, shoot. There was one other one, too. I forget what it was.
Did you tell the...
Oh. When he got out of the hospital, we went to a restaurant that a friend of his owned. And, yes, I know, I'm not done entertaining. And I just dropped my insulin. Anyway, don't do that, please. Anyway, he had a manual wheelchair at that time. This is a man who weighed 300 pounds plus. Well, in order to get into the restaurant, he had to go up a couple of small stairs. In the process of that, I had to tip him back. Scared the bejesus right out of him. He thought I was going to drop him. How did you do that? I weigh so much. I said, Dad, I've done this for a long time. But this was my dad on morphine and beyond. Really, really rather interesting. Yes, you will see a light from time to time because I cannot see the legend and I have to look and see. So I have to put a flashlight on. So this was my father on morphine. So Tammy, there you go. You finally got your wish and you got your stories in just like I told you would. Now what I'm going to do is, before I tell any more stories, I am going to actually turn it over to Lenore to start asking questions and reading statements. These are statements that are going to vary from the pen unboxing, or unbagging actually, and the following whip and chat. So they're kind of sort of all over the place.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you. You're welcome. Mr. Lee.
This list, which Lee kindly printed out for me because I'm blind as a bat, starts with Sheila and wishing me happy belated birthday. Glad you liked the pens and the trinket tray, which I absolutely did. So if any of you saw me, you know how much I loved them. And then we come back with Mia's life. And again, it's a happy birthday to me. It looks like beautiful things, and they were beautiful things. Spillin' the Drills commented, so sweet. My husband will tell you I am probably anything but sweet.
Well, just a little sweet.
Okay. Jen M.
Yep.
wishes me happy birthday and comments on how beautiful the tray and the pens were.
Well, thank you.
Yes, dear. Thank you.
Next.
Happy Little Drills says, aw, that's so sweet. Happy birthday. Thank you once again.
And then we go with that sweet comment again, damn it.
Yeah. Not me, though. And then we have Sparkle Dust and Diamonds,
Sparkle Dust and Diamonds, yes.
who says, hi, Lenore and Lee. Finally, your gifts. Lenore, you're a beautiful... Oh, I can't read these.
I knew she was going to have trouble.
A beautiful woman, and I love your pant bottoms. You have to share where you purchased them. Actually, I didn't. My brother-in-law got me 3 pair of them, and believe it or not, he got them from Temu, and they're very, very, very comfortable. He got them for my birthday. And then she goes on to say, thank you for sharing the video of this gift opening. It was filled with emotions, anticipation. To see gratefulness in her eyes and heart, and joyfulness to see her happy. Denise D. I guess
Yep.
I got the mixed.
Yep,
Came
Denise.
after. Now I have Cindy here who says, happy birthday, Lenore. Beautiful set. It's wonderful to put a face on to your voice. Thank you, Lee, for sharing your beautiful wife with all your fans and all the fans of the beautiful voice that goes with her.
Well, no, go ahead.
But no, it drops off. Eagerly awaiting. You didn't print the rest of it. So.
I think that was all it was.
Okay.
Anyway, well, I don't know about my fans anymore. I think they're fast becoming
Oh, please.
her fans because at one point in time, Jenny, the uncrafty crafter, on the last Thursday's live, asked me to have her come up as a guest on her live because she wanted to hear her sing. And of course, she sang again on the on Tim's live, the Leopard Leatherworks live. So, plus, as I told you before, she's going to be singing for Oz and Og for Shay. Speaking of which, everybody make sure to leave hearts on Shay's YouTube channel. She is not feeling well. She is rather under the weather. So if you could leave her some hearts and prayers and well wishes, that would be appreciated. Next.
And to finish Lee's comment about Tim, that was payback for the beautiful pen, pencil, and trinket box set that he made. He requested it, he got it.
Yep.
The song. And now I have the Uncrafty Crafter.
That's Jenny.
This was the best. And Lee, you are one lucky man, that's true.
That's true.
But I'm sure you already know that. Lenora's a beautiful lady.
Yes, she is. I think so too. But I'm kind of prejudiced on that fact.
Who is this again commenting late? Do you remember? The one we went looking for. Oh, Sparkle. Okay, and this last one, I think it's the last one for the birthday stuff, is Sparkle Dust and Diamonds. Commenting late because I watched on TV, but wanted to make sure to chime in because I loved this unboxing reveal. Just awesome. Got such a kick out of watching Lenore on the struggle bus and Lee laughing so hard. I think I heard a snort. You probably did, though it might have been me. I love purple as well, Lenore. Just lovely, all of it. Hope you get much use and enjoyment out of your gifts. I know Lee said you don't diamond paint, but are you considering it? If so, what kind of canvas would you like to do, genre type? I am considering it. I have a little bit of a problem with my eyesight right now, but I am going to give it the old college try from the old college broad. And I like nature scenes and animals best, probably, and the sea. So I just about named everything I could think of, right?
Well, that's okay. She is probably going to get the same kind of a magnifier that I have, the Art Dots, but I showed in last week's. I think it was last week's. But anyway, so she will be getting that. I am currently using it. I didn't pick it up beforehand, but I did put it together just now, and I'm using it currently. It is working wonderful. I'm still sort of messing around with the different lenses just to make sure I got everything right. See if I got the right, make sure I have the right ones. But she will probably be getting the same thing to help with hers. I am currently looking for the 4, which I cannot find. There it is, 3860. 3860. Ew. 3860, there it is. So yeah, we'll get her something at least anyway, so that she can try her hand and see if she likes it. And of course, she'll probably end up getting a pen from, gee, I wonder, maybe Leopard Leatherworks? I hear they're pretty good.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, I think they're pretty good.
Are we set with
Next,
these?
next.
Okay. This comes from Casey, that's me.
Casey.
And she
She.
says, thank you, Lee and Lenore, with a heart. And
Oh, she gives us a heart.
hands.
Isn't that special? Thank you, Casey.
Thank you so much.
just so that you all know, even small little comments like that uh, mean more than anything you want to try and come up with, so to speak. Meaning you don't have to put much effort into it. It is well appreciated, even just to say thank you. And it's still, even though it's small, it still adds to our script. So I don't have to sit here with a bunch of dead air.
This comes from Trin.
Yep.
Great chat. Keep those life stories coming.
Life stories.
Yes.
I'm sure I can come up with more than a few, but we'll get to the questions first.
Okay. And Trin gave us a heart too.
Ooh, I love hearts.
Yes, I know.
Hearts are the hugs of the body.
That's right. Melanie comes by and says, "Great whip and chat. The pen and pencil set is gorgeous. I imagine the amazing music that will be written with them. Lee, looking forward to get your review regarding the magnifying glasses."
Well, so far, as I have said, they are fantastic. I can see things really, really clearly. I like the fact that they actually, when I'm looking at the drills in the containers, I can actually flip them up, sort of like those sunglass covers that you see for your glasses. You know, that you can flip up so you can look out without them. Sort of like that. And it's really, really convenient, really, really nice. I was able finally to get the button pressed so that I could swap out the band and put the earpieces on. And they fit nice. They're a little tight to the head, which is not a big deal because it's not enough to give me a headache, but it is enough to hold them in place when I bend over, as I keep doing in front of the camera. My apologies. I mean, they are good, but I still have to bend somewhat to make sure I'm putting them in the right place.
Mm-hmm. And our next comment is from Happy Little Drills.
Happy Little Drills.
Great whip and chat. Please keep them coming. My name is Carol, and I would love to hear some Navy stories, and I'm in Orlando.
Hello, fellow Floridian. Even though I'm not technically a Floridian, I'm a transplant. As I have said before, I'm a frog. You've heard of snowbirds? Well, I'm a frog. I'm not a snowbird because I don't come down here every year. I live here. So therefore, I am a frog because I am going to live here until I croak. So there. Navy stories, yeah, you'll get some here and there. I don't have a whole hell of a lot, but I do have a couple. Next.
And our next comment comes from Cindy. Great video. Those glasses are great, but I still have trouble with the button. I really enjoy hearing the two of you together. I don't have any questions this time. We'll be eagerly waiting for some more stories.
Well, as I said, I finally was able to get to the button. What I did was, I was able to use a pair of tweezers and push from the top of the button and just push straight in, and eventually it actually released. Now, whether I could do that again to put the band back on, who knows? But I kind of like them the way they are now, so I doubt I'm going to change over anything.
Okay. This next comment comes from Christy. Hey, Lee and Lenore, great chat. You were out of frame. Love Lenore's pen and pencil and tray. They are very beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I read that because I read ahead of time, obviously. You know, just so I can acknowledge the fact that you guys send me these, so I give you a quick reply. But Unfortunately, I'm not the editing type, primarily because I'm not real good at it. So you got what you got, and you get what you get. Hopefully, I am in frame this time. It looks like I should be anyway. I haven't gotten up to actually look. Even though my head is probably still getting in the way. And don't you dare comment about me having a big head. Yes, I know you were going to. Don't you be whispering. People will think we have secrets.
This next one comes from Henny's 5549.
Yeah, Henny.
Henny.
Just Henny.
All right. Hi, Lee and Lenore. Fun whip and chat. Lee, maybe a table easel would help with your back while DPing. Just an idea.
Yeah, unfortunately, Henny, that would not do me a lot of good because I'd still have to bend. All right, what the heck's going on here? It looks like I have plastic where I shouldn't.
I can do it.
No, you didn't do it, actually, this time.
Hey.
So give me just 1 second to do some
Repairs.
minor
Adjustments.
I hope. If I can find the things I'm looking for.
Do you want me to go on and read another comment? Or?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. This comes from Sheila. Hey, Lee and Lenore. Yes, of course, Lenore. You can hit him. Thank you, Sheila. Lee, what light pad do you use? I am considering getting one. Currently just use a small lamp shining on the canvas. I would love to go to Nova Scotia. Where did that come from?
That was from you saying part of your family is in Nova Scotia.
Oh, yes.
From last week.
Oh, yeah. How quickly we forget.
Yes, how quickly we forget. It's that old thing.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, the light pad came from somewhere in the world of Amazon. These were all things that were bought prior to my actually having my first canvas. And I cannot find the plastic.
Oh, God.
So to tell you where it came from, I couldn't do that. Can it? Go ahead, next.
I'm going to read another one.
Yep.
Cheryl Lee, here's a story for you. When my grandmother was dying of a brain tumor, they put on a morphine drip, and she got to push the button when she started to have pain. But anyway, one day was pushing the button. I was visiting her, and she says "Oh, Cherie, do you see that tree floating around the room?" And I kind of laughed for a second and said, "Oh, Grandma, that was the morphine talking." And she said, "Oh, damn, this is good stuff." And I kind of laughed again. Then 2 seconds later, her daughter walked into the room and said, "Mom, what's so funny?" And I told, your mother, she was having some issues with her pain, and told her what she just said. And she laughed just as hard as I did.
Word of warning, when you share stories, they'll probably get shared again on these whipping chats. Because they are scripts. So therefore, that's why you're hearing it again. On that note, next.
Well, this is Tammy's, and she's requesting that you tell me the story now, which you already did.
Oh, Tammy, see, I told you you'd hear about it Monday, just like everybody else. Good gravy. I'm telling you, Tammy. Patience, woman, patience. I know, you're not a very virtuous woman, so therefore you don't have any patience. But patience is a virtue nonetheless.
Well, this is another Tammy.
Yep.
Who says, "Yes, I can hear you, Lee's wife. Can't spell your name by memory. It's really spelled just the way it sounds.
Yep.
Lenore. Lenore.
Yep. That would be it.
That would be it. Took me only 5 years to learn how to spell it.
Yeah. Well, I did tell her that in the response too, but
Okay.
that was something special.
Yeah. The next one is from Melanie. Question of the week. If you were given the opportunity to be an apprentice to any person, living or deceased, from who would you want to learn?
Well, I did spend time thinking about that over the week. And I came up with a blank. I think the only person I would have liked to have learned a lot from, I blew that chance when I was younger. Because my father, albeit who he was a very intelligent man, extremely hardworking. A workaholic, actually. But he could sum up an individual within a handshake. My wife and I were working for a self-storage company, and they had a company outing at a racetrack. My parents, I could invite my parents, so I did, given that my mother liked the ponies. And I introduced him to my boss, or our boss, I should say. He shook his hand, said hi, spent about, 30 seconds exchanging pleasantries?
Mm-hmm.
He walked away. My father looked at me and my wife and said, "That man's an asshole, isn't he?" And he got him right on the nose. He's the only person I know that could come out or go into a party of 400 people and come out with 400 friends. Minus anybody he might have thought was an ass.
Your father, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
That's what I thought I said. I might not have, but yeah, I meant my father. Next.
Next, this from Jenny.
Yeah.
Was the stuff you did with the monkey puppet ventriloquism? I'm curious to know how you entertained people with it. That sounds exactly like my parents. I had to teach them all about computers before I moved out.
That's coming from the printer story.
Oh, okay.
As far as the monkey, no, it was not ventriloquism. It was just because of the way it was designed. Like I said, it came down. You put your arm in the sleeve, and it came down to about your elbow. But because of the way it was designed, I could put the face into the crook of my arm and do this with my hand, and it made it look like the monkey was breathing. So then I would just play along with that for a while, and then I'd pop it up and have a little fun with them. They would laugh most of the time. One got really angry, but he was drunk, so he didn't care. He doesn't mind. He doesn't matter. But that's how I entertained them, and that's how I did things with people. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I would tell them, don't bother tipping me. I got ways to get around. Just give the money to your favorite charity. Because that's what I would rather do. Nowadays, my favorite charity is me, but
Stop that.
Okay, next.
Next, this is from Marsha.
Marsha.
Happy birthday, Lenore. I love your heartfelt excitement over your pens and trays.
Right.
You are beautiful. Oh. I know how you felt over opening them, as I feel the same way every time I open a package from them. Much love and sweetness. Thank you so much.
As you can tell, and if you couldn't, well, I'm sorry. Lenore is not overly enthusiastic about accepting compliments. So when she makes a sigh or makes a noise, just attribute it to that. I think that would be your best bet. She's not questioning your judgment or your thought process.
Yeah.
She just does not like compliments because she doesn't think she deserves them. Fine, I said it.
You're in trouble now.
Yeah. Next.
KC, that's me, is up next. Oh, here we go again. What a beautiful gift for a beautiful woman. Thank you, KC, that's me.
See? Now you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, next.
And this is from Sherry.
Sherry.
Happy birthday, Lenore. You're a very beautiful lady. I love the pen, pencil, and tray set. Hello, Oreo. Oreo is my cat, in case you haven't. One of my cats. And hello, Lee. Lee is my husband.
Yeah. Go figure this out, right? I'm reading this and I'm going, okay, hello, Lenore. And then I see, hello, Oreo with a little cat
Yep.
picture. And then I said, hello, Lee. Okay, so I'm third in line here. This is Diamonds and Dew, a.k.a. Lee K. And yet, hey, don't you be giving me raspberries, you. And yet, I get last billing. There's something wrong with this picture. I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. And this one is from Tammy. Short and sweet. I love it. Nice to finally see you, Lenore. You look as beautiful as you sound.
Ta-da! Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, I married pretty well. Not only do I have a wonderful singer, but I have a wonderful woman who spoils me rotten and stopped growling, and she's still going to get the compliments. Growling doesn't work here. Huh? That's Dodie. I believe it's Dodie.
Dodie Diva. And if it's wrong, it's Lee's fault because he told me. How exciting, Lenore. Awesome gift and happy belated birthday. You're very pretty and it's nice to put a face to your voice. Thank you very much. The next one comes from Jonna. Hi, Lenore. Great video. You are so sweet. That's what she thinks. Thanks, Lee, for sharing. See, she gave you a thanks for sharing.
I have to have a taste tester every time I have my meal.
That's just because I can't cook.
Yeah, right. This woman does all kinds of experiments with her food, or at least she used to. And yet, every time she comes out, they come out fantastic. Whatever she tries. As long as it's something I like, it's usually pretty good.
That's because of my mother.
Yeah, well, sometimes your mother was pretty good.
My mother was always pretty good with cooking.
Yeah, with cooking. There you
and
go.
Other things. She always loved my brothers better, though. This comes from Stacy. Yay, glad the package arrived. And now we have a beautiful face to go with a beautiful voice. Thank you, Stacy. Shut up, Lee.
Can you hear it in her voice? Thank you, Stacy.
And this comes Angie.
Yeah.
Hello, Lenore. Yay, it arrived. Love the cool envelope, too. The things are gorgeous. Happy birthday, Lenore. Thank you, Angie.
Angie. Is that Angie's Sparkle Edition by any chance?
Yes, it is.
Yep, Angie's Sparkle Edition. She has a small shop.
Yeah. Is this her DP shooting girl and then...
No.
Okay, there's nothing there.
Yeah, hold on a second. We got lost.
We did not get lost.
Hold on. Let me look.
You're going to get me lost if you stop.
7 days ago. No, because that's Marsha Hargis. All right, we lost one. We lost a comment somewhere. I don't know where. So start with Marsha Hargis on the other end.
Yep. This is from Masha. Happy birthday, Lenore. I love your heartfelt excitement over your pens and trays. You are beautiful. I know how you felt over opening them, as I feel the same way every time I open a package from them. This is
You already read that one.
Yes. Well, it was worth reading twice. Much love and sweetness. Okay, that's the end of it, I guess.
Apparently that's the end of it. Surprise, surprise. I thought we had more.
We had a lot.
My apologies if we missed anybody. Just go ahead and, if you didn't hear your comment or question, feel free to type it in this week's Whip and Chat. As far as other stories go, let me see what I got written down, because I don't even know anymore. I already got the monkey. Oh! Never take a road trip with a parent who is technologically challenged. We went up to see a friend of mine up in Minnesota. We were in Massachusetts. Picked up my mother, who at the time my dad had already passed away. And we went up to, we were gonna bring her with us. And she said the GPS in her Lincoln Navigator, brand new Lincoln Navigator, wasn't working. And she said, but I know how to get up to Minnesota. Now, in 3 hours, we went from Massachusetts, we got to Connecticut. For those of you that are geographically challenged, Connecticut is south of Massachusetts. Minnesota is north of everything. Okay? So we spent the better part of 2 days looking for Minnesota. Because by the time she got us where we were at, and she says, wait a minute, this is where I used to live, we were so far lost, we had no idea how the hell to get back to where we were. So finally I said, to hell with it. I turned on the GPS, or I attempted to turn on the GPS. Lo and behold, it came on. Wow.
That was her brother's fault.
I then proceeded to type in the address of where I needed to go. And in this particular case, we chose directly to the Mall of America. And all of a sudden, it showed us the route and how to go. And I looked at my mother and I said, how did you figure this thing didn't work? She said, well, that's what Billy told me. Billy is her brother, who also was technologically challenged. So we spent 2.5 days out on the road trying to find our way to make a trip that should have only taken 12 hours.
She took us up to New York, over the vine.
We went up into wine country. You know, this was before I did the GPS.
It was beautiful.
We went down into Connecticut, then up through wine country, and then God only knows some cow pasture someplace.
But we had fun.
Okay. Went to a hotel at one point in time that we could afford. My mother says, I don't like it here. We're going somewhere else. So she turns around, canceled my reservations for what I felt was not a half bad place.
No.
She didn't like it. It was too small for her. It's like, Ma, we're only going to sleep here. We're leaving first thing in the morning. I don't care. All right. So never ever go for a ride with somebody technologically challenged. And if they have a GPS in their car and they tell you it doesn't work, check it anyway. I already told him about the, he forgot I was there.
Yeah.
Told him about the printer. When you're looking for a vehicle and your parents have a vehicle, don't buy that vehicle too fast. Check with your parents first and see what's up. My parents had a van. Wasn't that old, but it was in good shape. You know, it had, captain seats and whatnot, and you could sleep in it. You know, you could make a bed out of the back and sleep in it and whatnot. Beautiful van, had a TV in the back. We bought a car, brought it to my parents. My parents turned around and then proceeded to say, "You should have came to us first. Dad was going to give you the van." So I bought a $15,000 car, or a $20,000 car, somewhere around there at the time. And then I was going to get a free one. What I didn't think of at the time was it was within the time frame that I could have actually brought it back and not had any penalties. But I didn't. I was stupid in that aspect.
We couldn't afford it, the gas
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, we couldn't have afforded the gas anyway. It had dual tanks. So the gas would have been outrageous to fill. And because it was an 8-cylinder, it also would have eaten that gas for a snack. So I would not have had the money to keep it operating anyway. Other than that, let me see where I'm at. How much time we have left?
Can you show them the picture of the cats that you took?
I can't from here, no.
No.
I get it at it. Oh, damn it.
Be careful.
Okay. It's been 42 minutes, so I still got a little time left if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Once I figure out what the hell's going on with my chair.
Mm-hmm.
I have cushions on the back of my chair, and as soon as I get up, the cushions fall down. I know I explained it last week, but this is a 9/11 pin. The Twin Towers with Flight 9 and 3 in the center, police, fire, and EMS, and the Pentagon around it. I still say it is a day that we should never forget. And if I have anything to say about it, I will remind people as often as I can. I don't know why I'm putting those away because I still have drills. What do you want?
Can I tell you
I don't care. Go ahead.
Well, you kindly keep commenting, by you meaning Lee's audience, commenting on my voice. The thing I remember most is that I had 4 half-brothers because my father was married prior to this marriage, to my mother. And in the second marriage, we had 3 of us, myself and two boys. So I had 6 brothers. But of that, all the 4 brothers sang like a heavenly choir, and my father played piano by ear, could read music. My mother sang, she had a beautiful voice. I didn't peep because I was so embarrassed to sing in front of these people that were so wonderful. That is until one of my father's sisters died, and I sang in the choir, and Michael said to me, "Why don't you go sing the funeral for your aunt?" And I said, "Okay, if they don't mind." So I went and I sang, and 3 of my brothers were there, the other one lived in Philly, and the 3 of them were like, "We didn't know you could sing. We didn't know you could sing. You got to come out." And they started dragging me to piano bars, and that's how my career started.
Now, Michael, just so that you are aware,
Oh yes, was the church organist.
a little bit of backstory was the church organist where Lenore went to church. and was also, well, Michael was also the choir director, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's a church organist and the choir director. So if he doesn't know a good voice when he hears it, nobody does. And that's a little bit more on Lenore,
On what?
who has a few stories of her own, I'm sure. That I'm sure we will get into at some point in time. But you never know.
You never know.
Anyway, let me just check and see if there's a really good story that I can end on.
I'm thinking.
You know?
For you. I'm trying to think of one.
It doesn't matter whether it's for me or for us. I don't care who it's on. As long as it's a good story to end on. Let me look at the notes that I have. I gotta start writing more notes because I'm running out of stories.
Don't even have time.
Furniture. Bad back pushing broom. Snoring, I told. Trip with your brother.
Yeah.
Car buy. Mom's printer. I forgot he was there. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it for anything that I have for stories that I've written down that I said I should probably remember. And I am not one to generally talk about myself for over an hour. I talk about myself in short spurts, yes, but not generally an hour's worth. I'm not sure what else there is to get to know about me. You know, that could be, you know, to get, you know, to know more about me, per se.
Tell them the story about the kids get stuck at Symphony Hall.
Oh, Lenore just came up with a good one that was kind of nice. At one point in time, as I've said to some of you, I used to work security at Symphony Hall. I was a supervisor there. Well, after one particular show, they had a busload of kids who came from, I'm not exactly, don't remember where they came from, but it was a school field trip type of thing from out of state.
Symphony Hall was pretty famous.
And the one of the teachers there came to me with a problem. Apparently, their bus driver, while the concert was going on, the bus driver decided he was going to get drunk. And the teacher said, "No, we are not going with you," and asked me for some help. Now, the only thing I could do at the time was, it was raining out, it was fairly cold, because it was like just before, it was late fall, so it was fairly cold. So I gave them refuge inside Symphony Hall. While I was in there, not knowing that I might not have had permission to do so, while I was in there, I gave them a small tour. And at one point, while we were inside the hall, Symphony Hall has one area that is devoted towards when they have live classical music broadcasts on one of the radio stations in Boston. And occasionally they will leave some of the equipment on. So in the middle of the night, you will hear classical music. You know, Brahms, Beethoven, Bach, and all of those types. And I turned around and I told the kids that if they listened real carefully from the balcony, they could hear the ghosts of past symphonies. past performances. And I started telling some of the stories of different ghosts and different things you'd hear. And wouldn't you know that there were times when you could hear something coming from another part of the building. Now, what that was generally just old pipes knocking and things like that. But I had to, I ended up telling them the truth, but for the meantime, it was fun. They had fun. They enjoyed it. I received a card
Yes, that was very nice.
about 2 months later with all of the signatures from all of the kids that were there thanking me and whatnot, and the teachers or escorts that were there thanking me as well. But I think that was one of my favorite memories of that particular place. I have several, but that was one of my favorites. Meeting some of the people I got to meet, hanging out with some of the people I got to hang out with, all very good things. And on that note, I think I will call it a night, because my back is starting to bother me and I can't really, and my neck is starting to crane, so I can't really do much on this anyway. It is coming along fairly nicely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank everybody for spending the time that you spend watching said Whip and Chat. It is really, really appreciated.
From both of us.
Yes, from both of us, Lenore says, from the kitchen. And so as far as I can see, just remember, as I've said before, careful how you judge people, because that person could be in a bad place, but at some point in time, that person may just lift you out of a bad place. Given the circumstances, as somebody else has always said, we're all just one paycheck away from disaster. Remember that. On that note, have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. I hope that I will hear from you all, or most of you, in the chats, in the responses, in the replies. Please feel free to hit the like button and the subscribe button and leave any comment you wish. And I will do my best to respond to it either there or here on the Whip and Chat. We still haven't figured out a live date, but at some point in time we will, and I'll let you know what happens then. Bye-bye.
Bye.